Hey ladies and gents, this is Linda, Chic777, and today I'm coming at you with a design team project for Reneabouquets. Now this project, I was at Goodwill and I was just walking down at the perfect time, and one of the workers there laid this cute wooden chair on the shelf, and I grabbed it immediately. It had a drawer in it, and of course my vision, shabby chic that thing up. And that's what I've done. I was going to just kind of do the old fallback, you know, a bunch of flowers, throw on it, add some cute stuff from Renee's shop, call it done. But I was kind of looking at Pinterest and I came across a picture, and I know we've all seen it. If you do a search for anything shabby chic, you're most likely going to see a picture pop up of a shelf in somebody's house with a bunch of empty shabby chic frames on it. And that's what I saw, and sitting next to it was like an old book and, you know, a vase of flowers. And I have always wanted to do that in my home. You know, I've got a few frames I found at garage sales stuff, but you know, they're sitting in a box. I've never done the shelf of empty shabby chic frames. So I was looking at this, and I just happened to look down at this chair that I had purchased and my kit of stuff that I got from Renee's shop with a few extra things that I had purchased from her. And I had looked down, and next to it was a package of those Prima Shabby Chic round resin frames. And you know, those are tiny. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how many of us have the Prima or Recollections Shabby Chic resin frames? We have Michael's frames. You name it, we've bought them. I'm going to make a tiny little chair full of tiny little shabby chic frames. So here is my quote-unquote shelf of frames. Okay, I'm going to move my sign out of the way and show you what I'm talking about. I will have to do a little bit of adjusting, I'm sure. And here is my cute little chair with all my little empty shabby chic resin frames in it, and the cute little drawer. I know, right? Super cute. This thing stands about 9 inches tall, and I believe just kind of from the front it's about 6 inches wide. The little arms here come out a little bit wider, maybe another half an inch. Oh, another inch. So this is about 7 inches wide up here at the top. I really wanted this to kind of be pale colors, whites, a little bit of cream color, real pale pinks. I didn't use a lot of paper. I used one sheet of paper from the Prima Almanac collection, which I did the front of the drawer, lined the inside, and then you can't really see it. It's covered up, but I'll show you what from the back. On the front of these wooden slats here, I've got strips of the paper. Okay, and that's the only places that I put paper. Okay, so let me bring this up a little closer, show you what I came up with. Okay, and we'll just kind of give it a once over. I've got to do a little work on this drawer. I forgot to do it ahead of time. Whoever made it, it just doesn't quite sit flush. I've got to do a little sanding on the drawers so I can get this to sit flush inside there. Anyway, in here, I apologize for the lighting, as we all always say when we're doing our videos. Give you a little peek-see inside. So let's just start real quick with the drawer. Nice and easy. You can see my Prima Almanac paper, sewed all my papers. And then the inside, all I did was line the bottom, left the rest white. The paint that I used to paint this was the Martha Stewart Vintage Decor, and it's a matte chalk finish, just white. And I used some pink on a couple of the items too, the same paint in a real light pink shade. It's like a real like shabby chic, real light pink, real pale pink. Anyway, on the front of the drawer, this little spoon is part of a kit that I got from Renee's shop. It's the Romantic Trinkets kit, and it comes with this cute little spoon. It comes with 2 little resin flowers, one of which I used on the project here. I'm actually going to show you what comes in the kit here. Little spoon, adorable little resin flower here. Okay, plus one more. I don't have it with me. You'll see it on another project, but this is one of the flowers. It comes with this beautiful back here resin frame, and the frame I believe is like a, was it cream color, and I painted it white. So beautiful little oval resin frame. Comes with this pretty little cameo with the angel on it. I painted it. The cameo is more of a cream color. I painted it with that real pale pink and did a whitewash over the top of it. And then it comes with a charm. Okay, so, and it's a 6-pack, like I said. So that's where the spoon came from. And then on the front of the spoon, I added a little Wild Orchid Craft flower. And then I've got a beautiful Reneabouquets butterfly here. Now this butterfly looks a lot different than what I purchased. Let me show you what it actually looks like. These are, My Romantic Heart is the title of these butterflies. And this is what they actually look like when you get them. Beautiful black and kind of vintage pink, beautiful little pink flower in the center. Since my project was more pale in color, I went ahead and I took that white chalk paint and I just whitewashed all the areas in black, okay, and kind of toned that down a lot. So that's why it looks a whole different color, but you can still see the pink from the glitter glass stuff shining up the flower. So shabby that little puppy right up. And it's nice because even though paint over it, the ink doesn't run or anything because Renee uses a professional quality Epson ink. And it just takes altering very nicely. So there is the drawer. Okay, let's go to the very back. Across the back here, you can see some script writing. Couldn't tell you what it says, but underneath it says Paris 1889. How I got this was, I went online to graphicsfairy.com and I found a script I wanted and I printed it out with my inkjet printer onto some wax paper. Just the, you know, the food wax paper. Okay, and then what I did is after I reversed the image, printed it out onto the wax paper, and then I dampened my wood just a little bit with water, just dampened it. And then I laid the image down, the ink side down onto the wood, and I took a spoon and I rubbed it. Just almost as if you're using like one of the rub-ons, you know, scrapbook rub-ons. I rubbed it onto the wood and it gave me this kind of shabby chic transference. Okay, so that's how I got that. Printed my image, you have to reverse it onto wax paper. I believe you have to use an inkjet printer because of how the ink comes out. Dampen your image just a bit. You don't want it completely wet because once that ink from the wax paper hits the wet of the wood, it just smears. So you just want it very, very lightly damp. And then you just rub the ink onto your area and you got to hold it because if you move that wax paper, your image is going to smear. So I taped it down and just very gently holding it and rubbing it, holding it and rubbing it. But you get this cool effect on there. Okay? So over on this left side, Wild Orchid Craft flowers. And clear in the back here, I've got this wooden heart from this thing I had taken apart from, I got from Michael's like last year, year before, Valentine's Craft, wooden hearts, took it apart. And this wooden heart, I used Tim Holtz Distress Crackled Paint and Tattered Rose and crackled it up. On the front of it, I used a beautiful lacy heart applique that I got from Renee's shop. And these are what they look like. Okay, beautiful. You get a packet of 2. So that's layered on the front. And then I've got a beautiful Reneabouquets butterfly here. And this butterfly is the English tea rose. Now this, as you can see, is a single layer. When you get these butterflies, they're actually double layered. I wanted mine to be a little bit smaller, so I just took the first layer off. Okay, you can see beautiful double layered. I just used the first layer. I whitewashed it just a bit, just to soften the black print on it a little bit on my project. Like I said, just to kind of soften it up. You barely notice it, but it's just softened just a little bit. Okay. And then in front of that, I layered all these frames. So here comes my quote-unquote shelf of frames. I got a beautiful Recollections frame here that was gifted to me by my wonderful, beautiful friend P. I've got a Prima resin frame here. I've got this resin frame from Renee's shop. Not resin, acrylic. Is that what I want to call it? Resin. Well, I guess it's resin. I don't know. Anyway, a different kind of resin. And then I've got a Prima resin frame here. I've got a Prima resin frame here. I've got a teeny tiny round resin frame here. Those came from Renee's shop as well. She's got the Prima pack of resin frames. Let me see if I've got it down here. Well, I did. Let me pull it out. Of course not. Can't show you. It's buried. Anyway, it's a 3-pack of beautiful Prima round resin frames. You can see the empty package comes with 3. And I've got the other 2 actually. I can show you here. I just can't find, because I ordered a couple of packages. So there's one of them, and then the other one, and then the teeny tiny one that's in here. I ordered 2 packages. I wanted to show you the full package, but I can't find it in my drawer of Prima stuff. So anyway, from Renee's shop, Prima resin frames. This is just one of those metal hearts I got from the $1.50 bin at Michael's. It's like a kind of a 3D metal heart. So I've got that layered back in there amidst my Shabby Chic frames. This is a Prima resin bird from Renee's shop. Let's see. This is a Prima heart gear. This is a Prima metal clock face and Prima metal clock hands that come from Renee's shop. Back here, I'm going to come back here for a minute. This word wonderful and this word love, those are from Michael's, little $2 bin. You get those packages of woodwords they came out with like last year. Again, these are from my beautiful friend P. This, I pointed it out already. The resin frame from Renee's shop comes in that romantic trinket set. Okay, I talked about. This is a little jar from my stash, and inside of it I've got, this is a most beautiful shabby, it's like this just shabby pale pink glitter glass. And actually when you get it, it is actually called sand. That's the shade of it. I've never seen this shade of glitter glass before. But as you can see, it's just this beautiful, beautiful pale pink. Just perfect for shabby chicness. Just perfect. I love this. I didn't want to use it. It was so pretty. I just wanted to stare at it. So I just put it in a jar so I could stare at it. Anyways, that's what I've got there. This is just a metal bird cage. And please forgive me. Somebody gifted this to me and I cannot remember who. But excuse me. It was a dark cage, and I just used that chalk paint, that Martha Stewart chalk paint, and Shabby Chic'd it up. This beautiful flower is from Renee's shop. These are called the ivory chiffon flowers. You get 3 in a set. Let me pull one out so you can see it not on the project. Beautiful fabric flower, and look at these gorgeous pearls and gems in the center. And she's got a couple different sets, you know, different colors that you can choose from. And these, again, like I said, are the ivory chiffon flowers. Beautiful. Okay. Right here, next to the gorgeous flower, is a wooden XO that I painted white. Right here, this is lace from Renee's shop, and I'm sorry, I can't show you anymore. That was the last of it, and this is the timeless vintage lace. It was just wide enough to fit my chair. Gorgeous. Right here, this is a Michael's metal key, also gifted to me by P, laying right there, and I already showed you that little flower. It came from the Romantic Trinket set. You can't really see it, but kind of right back here behind the love is a Wild Orchid Craft flower. It matches these ones over here, right in there. This little book I made by hand, says Romeo and Juliet. Let me turn to the side. What I did is I have this old book I got at a garage sale. It's a book of Shakespearean plays, and the book, literally, the pages were falling apart. So they were coming out. Got it for like $1.25, so I don't mind if I cut it up. But so what I did is I cut it up, made a couple of little signatures. I actually used some of the pages from the Romeo and Juliet play. Like I said, made a couple of little signatures. Focus, there we go. Bound it up in the paper from the Prima Almanac. And then I used a title from, the top of one of the pages for the spine of the book. Okay, so that's how I got my cute little book there. On top of that, this is just some music paper from my stash. I just cut it up into smaller pieces, rolled it up, added like a little twine on top here. These are some teeny tiny little Wild Orchid Craft roses. This is another little Wild Orchid Craft flower. Next to it, I've got a little Eiffel Tower charm here, and this was gifted to me by Letty. Thank you, Letty. This is another little jar from my stash, and what I did is just use some multi-medium and some pearls. I have these teeny tiny pearls that was gifted to me by Steph, who's Brown Baby Craftaholic here on YouTube. Thank you, Steph. And I glued some of the pearls. They're probably going to be hard to see, but I glued some of the pearls inside the jar with the multi-medium, and then I glued them coming out of the jar kind of into a little bit like the jar spilt over. Obviously fell over and pearls spilled out. And you can see some of them there coming out of the jar. And then again, I use multi-medium to kind of glue them onto the lace, and some, pearls rolled over here, one rolled over there, a couple of them rolled over here. So that's that idea. And then right under here, you can't really see it, but I needed to raise some of my stuff up. So this is just a white crochet doily that I crocheted myself that, I put up underneath it to lift some of the stuff up to give it some dimension up in here. Okay? So that is my project from Wild Orchid Crafts. I was looking at the flowers and thinking the Wild Orchid Craft flowers. That is my project for Reneabouquets using her beautiful product. And I'll just give you another little glance at it. Sorry about that little boo-boo. It is 12:30 a.m. in the morning here. I'm just kind of finishing this last minute, trying to get this filmed so I can get it loaded for you guys. I will have all the links down below to everything Reneabouquets. If I can get this up on my blog, you guys, I will have close-up pictures for you. If my blog is listed down below in the description box, it means I got it up in time with the pictures. Otherwise, I will load pictures onto Facebook and Pinterest for you at least, and there will be the link to my Pinterest, so you can get some pictures there if you want some close-up photos. Okay? I thank you for sharing your time with me, and I'll talk with you again soon. Bye.